On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the new Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Jango Fett. At least from the standpoint of my local stores, these figures have now just popped up and started surfacing. Jango Fett comes with his dual blasters. He comes also with his helmet. Looks pretty good. I'm assuming probably a repainting of the original Black Series Boba Fett. At any rate, though, a choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 years of age. Back of the package, a small read-up as the rest of this is in different languages. In the final years of the Republic, Jango Fett was regarded as the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. Fett is covered in a sleek armor suit that conceals his scarred face. To check out more from Hasbro, you can go to www.starwars.hasbro.com. By the way, this is also figure 15 from the Star Wars Black Series. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Black Series Jango Fett. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Now that we have Jango out of packaging, let's get a better look at the figure. You know, when I got the figure out of... Well, let's backtrack. Let's rewind that a little bit. When we got the package end of this review going, the figure didn't look so bad. Somehow, between getting the figure in packaging, getting him out of packaging, and now looking at him, he comes across a little stocky. He comes across a little on the short side. I don't know if perhaps I am the only one that sees this, but he seems like his legs are a little too short. It seems like his torso is just a little bit wide. He looks like almost a toddler dressed up as Jango Fett. Something doesn't quite work for me. The figure's face isn't bad. I don't really have many complaints with the face itself, though granted, it doesn't get off completely because there's a little bit of paint that's gooped on the side of the face where I guess the purple has carried over from the collar and has brushed up against the neck area. But the face, I think, bears the good, strong resemblance of the character from the movie, of course, unhelmeted. The rest of the armor is pretty good. I like the wash that they've added to his armor plates on his legs, on his lower shins, and his torso. But proportionately, he seems off. Am I the only one that sees this? Again, like maybe I feel like the legs could have been just a little bit longer. Something seems so very off on this figure. Let's try to remedy this by adding the helmet that he comes included with. You know what I honestly would have gone with? I think I would have preferred a little bit more having an interchangeable head rather than having a helmet. Having a helmet causes one of two things. I find like it doesn't sit on his head very well. And it doesn't look right. Like it looks bigger. It makes everything look bigger on the figure. If he didn't already look like a toddler dressed up as a cosplaying Jango Fett, I think by including the helmet as what we see right now, it just looks wrong. The other point I wanted to make too is by adding the helmet, taking it off, putting it on, you're rubbing the face of Jango the wrong way. And I feel like maybe this will eventually start wearing at his nose, maybe around his brow area. We've seen this figure done right. We saw this figure done right with Boba Fett. And yet for some reason, Jango does not seem to fare as well as Boba did. If you were going to give us a new Jango Fett, I don't know why, they could have just used, maybe it is the same body and I'm just noticing it more with Jango, but they could have given us the same body for Boba, and then just simply given us his regular head as an interchangeable head. Pop this head off, put this head on, bada bing, bada boom. It also would have been a little bit smaller, but by incorporating it to Jango's existing face, I mean, normally I would have liked this if this was way back when I was younger. That's what a lot of figures, helmeted figures did. I mean, they never gave you an interchangeable head that you swapped in and out. They simply would give you like usually a very rubbery appliance. You put the helmet over top, and then that would be the masked character. Nowadays, though, with enough interchangeable heads, and this being Hasbro's Black Series line, I just feel like they should have given a little bit more love to Jango. At any rate, the other accessory that comes with Jango, he actually comes with a couple others, comes with his backpack. There's peg points on the back. We just simply peg that into place. Just like that. It still does not help his cause. He just seems very stocky. The other things that he comes with as well are his dual blasters. In the packaging, his one hand had the blaster in hand, like that. But he also has a couple of holsters on the sides of his legs as well. So if whatever you don't want to display him with, you can put the other blaster into his leg, a little leg holster there. There's the back of him again. Yeah, I'm not liking this figure. I have to admit, I'm not liking this figure. And I love Jango Fett. For your posability, Jango's head. You know what? We'll take that mask off for a second. The helmet. I don't want somebody to say, that's not his mask. I'm going to take his helmet off. His head is on a ball joint. And again, when you start moving his head, you can see how disastrous his neck looks. Just a lot of paint gooped all over the place. He has a shoulder, or not shoulder, his waist swivels. Also has a crunch in the torso. Shoulders go up. They rotate all the way around, but the shoulder does restrict some movement, getting his arms to come completely out. He does have a bend, what looks to be a single bend in the elbow, which also rotates the bicep area. He has a rotation in the hand. And then the legs, because the straps are nice and loose, doesn't seem to restrict movement in his legs. He does have a double hinge knee though. And he has a rotation, a pivot, and a hinge in the foot. Best Jango Fett, not even close. I'm pretty sure there is a 3 3/4 inch version of Jango from the Black series. Something is superposable. I'll probably want to get my hands on that. I think this is a one case example where a 3 3/4 inch release of this guy probably is a lot better than the 6 inch release of this guy. He seems too short. He seems too bulky. The idea of putting a head on, a helmet on top of his existing head, is something that I feel is dated. It's dated. Like, we could have gotten simply a recolored Boba Fett head and just popped it off the ball joint, put the new head on. Could have gone that way. I don't know why they went this route instead. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at a Hasbro Black Series, Star Wars Black Series. We're looking today, I believe this was figure 15, Jango Fett. Could have been a lot better. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible and toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.